Dear Pastor Bob, I'm having trouble coming back to God and making Him first. Does that sound familiar? Coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. I'm having trouble coming back to God and making Him first. I'll do good for a while, then back to not being obedient or praying on what He's called me to do. I used to preach and make videos. Now I just go to church and read a little each day. How can I be more obedient and closer to God? And this is a question I get a lot. And it's interesting that this is the conception that a lot of people have of Christianity. My friend here is not alone. And it's the wrong conception. I've said many times before in this podcast that the Christian faith is impossible. It's impossible to live a Christian life. It's the whole reason Jesus died on the cross, and He took discipline into surrender. Well, that's a big deal, because discipline doesn't involve my emotions necessarily. Surrender involves my love, my compassion. It's a very emotional thing, which was the whole purpose. Greater love hath no man than this, that He lay down His life for His friends. We've talked so many times, too, about the greatest commandments. Love, love, love. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Yeah. So that's where we always come back to. And it's important that you understand that before you can understand this. First of all, God hasn't gone anywhere. We always think that He's way over there and we're way over here, and I got to somehow bridge this gap and come back to Him. The further you get away, the more He just follows you. He's right there. He's right there. He never left you. He said, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. Pretty cool, isn't it? Never. So what about that? It's like living in the same house with the person you're not talking to. And they follow you from room to room, and you say, I just can't get close to you. I just don't know what to do. And they're right there the whole time. In the same house, following you from room to room. That's God. C.S. Lewis calls Him the hound of heaven. He's after you all the time. That's cool, isn't it? But you see, it's not a matter of you getting more spiritual. That's my coffee getting done. Yeah, important part of the day. It's not a question of you getting more spiritual, because you won't. It's really God working in you to produce the things that need to be produced. Now, your biggest problem is that you haven't allowed God to work through you. And once again, listen, He works from the inside out. From the inside out, not the outside in. The Holy Spirit inside of you producing love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Yeah, we've done the list a lot, haven't we? But you see, that's the basics. When those things begin to happen, you'll recognize that He's been right there the whole time. You'll begin to develop this love relationship because the Holy Spirit develops it through you. So it isn't a matter of you coming to some kind of a physical place or you disciplining yourself. That's like disciplining yourself to love your wife. It's kind of lame, isn't it? You love her because something intrinsically loves her. You love her from the inside. And it isn't that, that it isn't possible with God. It's just that you haven't done the right thing. So He says, I'm doing good for a while, and then I'm not obedient anymore. Well, join the club. I do that daily. But God is there daily. And whenever I pray, whenever I acknowledge that He's right here with me, Whenever I allow the Holy Spirit to work through me, I can't believe the things that happen, the things that I feel, the connection that I feel. And I am totally aware that it's not me, it's Him doing it. And once again, it's not about how much you can discipline yourself, and discipline isn't bad, but it's not what your faith is based on. It's how much you surrender, how much you love, how much you say, Lord, not my will, but your will be done. It's how much you allow the Holy Spirit, surrender the Holy Spirit to work through you. It's surrender. And that's the act of love God's looking for in you. It's good news, because you see, it's possible. And that connection that you want to have with God is absolutely right around the corner. And He's following you. God bless you. Have a great day.